Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me in another of my little monologues, my sort of cogitations. They're more cogitations these days, aren't they? Cheers, by the way. Just having a cup of coffee and a little puff of the old pipe. As you can see, I'm almost in work mode now, which is great news for me. Be up and about a bit. Everything's coming back together. Got my work clothes on. And I've had a log delivery, so Julia and I have been out unloading the logs and stacking them up, which is good, but I thought I'd have a little bit of a rest and have a chat with you. When I want to talk about, we've spoken about God and these sort of, esoteric subjects, haven't we? And sin. Thank you for everybody who was in touch and left comments and emailed me about what they class as sin and what sin is and things. Fascinating and absolutely interesting. Today I want to sort of just wax lyrical a little bit, if I may, about the purpose of life and whether life actually has a purpose or not, because we always think that we have a purpose. I just want to, before we get to that, is just mention a couple of things that have been very helpful. Now, in an episode coming up very soon, I'm going to show you the Clive de Carle magic chair and his Tesla machines and how beneficial they've been in helping me recover from my muscle stuff. But that'll be another video, watch out for that, as well as his supplements and stuff, which they're just second to none, and they've been really, really kind. So big thank you to Clive and the team, Fluff and what have you. But we'll do that in a separate video. This is another product from Endoka. This is called High Mountain. I don't know how much of that you can see. Fruit gummies, mountain high, it says on there. Full spectrum hemp means full of benefits for additional cannabinoids. Work together to, Cannabinoids. It says on the bottom of this as a entourage effect to give you the relief you need and the relaxation you deserve. Anyway, these are gummies, hemp, apple cider vinegar, strawberry extract. And brilliant. I'll leave a link in the description for Endoka again. It's just endoka.com, but I'll put it in the description. Organic, 100%. Great to have those at night time because it's really stopped the cramping pain. And the other thing is that they do one called Energy. You can see I've opened it, been eating it, and that is, again, the gum is Energy, and I think it's got a bit of caffeine in it, I'm not sure. Coffee extract and apple cider vinegar and hemp, and that's it. Anyway, the purpose of life. Well, is there a purpose of life? We always think that there may be a purpose of life is to procreate, find a partner, procreate, and get a job, have a house, look after that family, bring up the children, and so that they can then procreate and hopefully look after you in your old age and in your dotage. And I suppose to a degree that's just a question of survival, isn't it, of doing those things. But people often feel there's got to be a purpose, there's got to be a reason that we're here, that we've been placed on the earth. Some people have some very odd notions that aliens came down and designed us and put us together and those sort of things. I don't actually believe that myself. And they talk about, missing bits of DNA or the spiral, or I don't know what it is. Has life got a purpose? And I think the purpose of life is life itself. It's a gift that we have. I think we just take it for granted. Oh, I'm alive, and I've got to go and wriggle around and do something, learn to walk and stand up and hunt some food and eat. But I think that we forget exactly who we are and what we are, and that life doesn't necessarily have that purpose that we have to be the CEO of a big corporation, or that we have to be an internationally famous film star, or these days I suppose a YouTube or a TikTok, whatever, or a Twitter fanatic, whatever it is. We don't need to be something that our ego feels that we need. The purpose of life, I guess, if anything, is enlightenment. It is to understand that we in my mind, and I'm not thrusting this on anybody else's, that that we are already divine, that we have that divinity in us, the life blood, if you like, the soul is already here. The God particle, as Richard Dawkins, I think, called it, it's already within. We don't have to keep looking outside. We just need to be aware of the fact that we are alive. And we get so distracted with life, with the physical everyday stuff, don't we? And thinking of the future or reminiscing about the past. We tend to forget that we are here in the present, and that the only moment is now, this very moment. So that when we're perhaps out walking, we perhaps lose ourselves in the future or in the past, but we don't actually look at the scenery around us, the flowers, the tree. We don't actually look and take in the majesty and the beauty. That we sort of think that the purpose is always in the future. It's something to be achieved, rather than that we are already there, and that this is, this is life and the gift of life. That every morning, how many of us wake up and go, my God, I'm alive again to play in this beautiful world with all these wonderful things, and have that sense of joy. Now, Julia's got a little boy called Joe, and when he wakes up, he is, and most children are like this, it's like, wow, I'm alive. They're in the moment. They're there, and the parents are going, oh God, tone it down a bit. I'm just trying to wake up and deal with all this mail that's come in, or I've got to go and move the car, or I've got to get to work, whatever it is. But the kids have that natural joy for living, and they live in the moment. And sadly, we seem to knock that out of them as they get older. We sort of go, no, okay, you can't do all these things. You've got to get a job. This is the purpose of life. We've got to buy these material things. We've got to keep the corporations happy. We've got to keep the national debt down. We've got to borrow money to buy somewhere to live in. We've got to allow the mafiosi to come knocking on the door once a month and collect their due, just so that we can actually stay in a house. And we call them a council or a local authority, but actually, they're just the mafiosi, the bully boys, as is the government and everybody else that's telling us all the rules and regulations. We feel that is, to navigate that is the purpose of life. And yet, I think children have it, don't they? They're showing us. In many ways, that's why we perhaps do procreate. Maybe we could have been in a situation where we get born and we never ever die, we never ever have to have children, but it's the children are showing us the joy, that the purpose of life is to be happy, to thrive, to live in the moment, and not worry about the past, and not seek the answers elsewhere, that we have them inside. And it's what I think. You may obviously think that the purpose of life is a path, that we have to follow a path, we have to stick by some moral guidelines, we have to achieve something in this life, that perhaps when we die, the physical death, that there is some form of judgment in the next life, that this is kind of a little test, and you didn't do very well in that test, so you're going straight back, or you're going to the other place instead of this place. I mean, doesn't that just sound completely and utterly ridiculous? That you see children realize, wow, so much joy to be had. Is that not what the purpose of life is? I'll leave it with you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.